Hey guys, Chris here from CarExpert, and we're back at Queensland Raceway, our test track. Today I've got the Audi S7. Now this is an interesting one because we've had the M550 from BMW and that was a surprise package. That was super quick out here on the track. So we're interested to see how close this can get. So it's got the V6 twin turbo up front, 331 kilowatts and 600 newton meters of torque. So not quite matching the BMW in terms of numbers, and also slightly heavier at 2,030 kilos. All-wheel drive via the Quattro system. Be interested to see how close we get. First we'll do the 0 to 100 and then the braking test, then we'll do some hot laps and see how quick she is. So initial impressions, quite like the seating position, really comfortable as you'd expect in a car like this, but also a decent amount of support and not moving around too much. Steering wheel's good. On the track I do like the Alcantara finish, but the leather here with the slightly abrasive finish is not bad at all. I like the position I'm sitting in the car, I really like that. It's a good feeling, you feel like you're part of the car, so that's nice. Steering, as with most of the Audis, feels slightly light, lacking a little feedback. All right, let's see what the engine's like. That's nice, super responsive. So straight from the bottom end there, it's got power straight away. So plenty of torque, 600 newton meters, but barely any lag. So that's awesome. That's going to be helpful on the track. Gearbox is okay. Just the downshifts I've had a few issues with, just not quite following exactly when I want to downshift, and I find that difficult on a track because it's all part of your braking and your entry phase of the corner, and if it doesn't work to plan, then you struggle a little bit more. As you can imagine with the Quattro system, I don't think there'll be any big issue with traction at all. I've got everything in dynamic mode. It does have the air suspension, so it's fully lowered as well, which will help in terms of center of gravity. I've got manual mode in the gear shift, traction control off, ESC off, and let's try and see how fast this goes. So there you go guys, Audi S7. Now, the time's not amazing, 60.2, and I had to work pretty hard for it, using all the road and some, but dynamically, it's actually a really good car. It's like, fundamentally, there's a lot of good things going on. It has nice transfer of weight, nice and controlled. Although it's soft, it doesn't roll too far. And I liked how I was able to manage the brake pedal and get the car to rotate a little. Now, it's a big car, 2,000 kilos, so you do notice that weight. And if you try and push too hard on the entry, it just destroys the lap. And I definitely had a couple of laps where I threw away a lot of time. But it's not far away, and it actually does a lot of things well. So you're not going to see many people bring these out to the track. But on a nice twisty road with good fundamentals, this can be a fun car to drive. You've got good torque, 600 newton meters, very drivable, very smooth power. Not quite the top end that I would like. It just runs out of a bit of steam on the straight, but nice and smooth off the corners. Traction's good, differentials are good and helping you a lot. You feel that they're assisting you, feel like it's helping the rotation. For sure, if you overcommit, you get some understeer, and it can turn into some oversteer as well. But if you're thoughtful about the energy in the car and the weight in the car, you can manage it quite well. Gearbox is okay. Again, on the downshifts, I asked for it. Whether I'm asking for it too early, I don't know, but I asked for a downshift and I'm not getting it, and then I'll go for another one and I'm not getting it, then I'll finally get the gear and it's just a bit not intuitive, like it's not connected to you. For track work, I'd like that to be a bit sharper, but like I said, not many people are going to track these cars. It's more of a comfortable but fast touring car. And like I said, the fundamentals are excellent. I really like how the chassis worked for such a big chassis, that you could actually attack and turn and rotate and be aggressive with the car. And I think that's going to come back to driver feedback, and you will enjoy this as a driver's car as much as a daily driver as well. So there you go, guys, the Audi S7. Now that was a pretty good overall package. Now, not outright the quickest car out there, and you're not going to see many of these on the track either, but the actual lap time was decent. Driving on the track was actually pretty good. The package worked well together. The chassis, the differentials, the dampers, everything sort of tied together nicely and was on a pretty equal level playing field with each other, which is a nice thing in a car. You want that balance, that one thing's not outshining other areas. The M550 did beat it on lap time wise, but to drive, this actually wasn't a bad car on the track. Now, my top 3 tips are, firstly, you've got to manage that weight. It's 2,000 kilos, so that's a lot of energy going into the corner. And the trick is, it's actually really well balanced, so how you release that brake pedal is important. So that's my second tip. If you release it nice and smooth and control, you can keep the weight on the nose and rotate the car well. My final tip is, careful in the downshifts. It won't actually shift if you shift really early. So it caught me out quite a few times. I rushed the downshift and it wouldn't actually shift down gears for me. So be patient on the downshift. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Plenty more content to come. Lots of exciting cars in 2021, so stay tuned for that.